Hello everyone, welcome to Kill Team. Let's get straight into this. Wherever the Dark Eldar are. Sorry, I hit the camera. Now, I'm actually okay with calling Dark Eldar Drukhari. I get it. They're the Drukhari. I don't get Asayani. That's terrible. Anyway, you're not here to hear my discussions about the Eldari and the Eldar. Let's talk about the Drukhari commanders. Straight away, I'm going to let you know I have not picked up the Succubus commander, so there's no unboxing element to this, and I don't know what her special abilities are. I do know that one of her levels, she gets to, I think, treat movement as fly. I think. I don't know, that's only what I've heard. However, let's do the Archon first. Stat line. 8-inch move, which is in line with the witches. Weapon skill 2 up, ballistic skill 2 up, as you'd expect. Strength 3, toughness 3, ouch. Weapon wounds 5, attacks 5, LD 9, save 5 up. Okay. And this model armed with a splinter pistol and a husk blade, which are very uninspiring weapons, but splinter pistol, 12 inches, pistol 1, wounds on a 4. Husk blade, strength +1, so at least he's a strength 4. It's not terrible. AP -2, damage D3. The only thing that's going to cost you extra is if you decide to use a blast pistol. Your points at level 1 are 56, at level 2, 71, at level 3, 86, at level 4, 111. Wargear options. This model may replace its husk blade with an agonizer, power sword, or venom blade. Okay. Let's see what they're like. Venom Blade is wounding on roll of a 2+. Now that's good. However, you trade off any AP and extra damage to get that. Now wounding on a 2+ is really nice. However, that's a tough one. If I'm honest, I'd probably stick with the Husk Blade over that. Generally, anything you're hitting is going to be... You know, again, it comes down to what you plan to do with this Archon. Are you going to have him as a chaff unit killer? Well, then you're going to want the Husk Blade so that you can just mow through any Marines you see. But if you're going to use him as some sort of commander killer, well, chances are they're going to be toughness 5s and 6s, so maybe you'll want to rethink the Venom Blade. Finally, there's the Power Sword, which is strength user, AP -3, damage 1. To me, the Power Sword seems like a bit of a... I mean, you know, it's situational, but I'd almost certainly kit up my Archon with either a Husk Blade or a Venom Blade. Not the Power Sword there. And you can replace your Splinter Pistol with a Blast Pistol, which you should do, because the Blast Pistol is 6 inches, pistol 1, strength 8, AP -4, damage D6. It's an amazing weapon. Use it. It's only 10 points, which sounds crazy to say in a game of Kill Team, but use it. So, Power from Pain, you have to see the Kill Team core manual, and Shadow Field, his saving grace. This model has a 2-up invulnerable save, which cannot be rerolled for any reason. So you can't use your tactical reroll there. The first time this invulnerable save is failed, the Shadow Field ceases to function for the remainder of the battle. So, obviously, a 2-up invulnerable save is absolutely amazing. But anybody that has ever used a Shadow Field in main 40k, as they exist there, will know that generally the way Shadow Fields work is when you are first attacked, you will roll a 1. So, yeah. Watch out for that. It happens a lot. His aura tactic, Overlord, start of the shooting phase, goes to the end of the battleground. Long as this model is not shaken, you can reroll hit rolls of 1 for friendly models within 6 inches of this model. I mentioned this in my Adeptus Astartes rundown. I don't think a plus to hit is that great. Like, obviously, hitting people better is good. I'm not saying it's not. But typically, these auras will either be a plus to hit or a plus to wound. And when you have an entire army of only strength 3, you need that reroll to wound. Also, do note this is only re-rolling of a hit roll of a 1, not just any hit roll. So, don't get me wrong, he's good, and he's relatively affordable. But, just looking at him there, he's compared to the other commanders I've already reviewed, he's not jumping out at me at all, really. I mean, okay, so I'm assuming that you're going to lose your 2-up invuln on the first attack, which will happen. However, if that was a base 2-up invuln that he kept, I'd say he's a lot better than he is, but I know how I roll. I mean, obviously, 5 attacks with that strength 4, AP -2, damage D3, you can get some work done there with the Husk Blade. Well, I've been very indecisive about this Archon, haven't I? I'm going to have to leave it down to you guys. He's not blowing me off my feet. Let's check out the Succubus. Movement 8, 2-up, 2-up, 3, 3, 5, 4, 8. 1 less attack. Interesting. Leadership 8, save 6 up, max 1. You get an Agonizer and an Archite Glaive. Oh. And there's no war gear, that's just what you get. Can't swap it out. The Agonizer is AP -2, 1 damage, always wounds on a 4-up. And the Archite Glaive, strength +2, AP -3, damage 1. Subtract 1 from the hit roll. So obviously you don't have the possibility of taking a blast pistol. And keep in mind that blast pistol is really nice. However, it's only a pistol 1. You kind of have the close combat Archon here with, almost able to take both the Husk Blade and the Venom Blade. But in her own flavour, of course. So I'm instantly thinking she's better. But then save over 6-up. Don't get shot. Of course, it's a 4-up invuln. And the difference between the Succubus and the Witches is that hers isn't just in the fight phase, it's just constant. So it's a 4-up save, always. You know what would have been really cool with her? An extra ability, or maybe a tactic, that allowed her to reroll combat drugs. That would have been interesting. I'm not saying she needs it or whatever, but yeah, would have been cool. Okay, points. Level 1, 48. Level 2, 63. Level 3, 78. Level 4, 103. So she's cheaper than the Archon, especially if you give him a blast pistol. And Bride of Death, 1 command point, Succubus or a tactic. Start of the fight phase till the end of the battle round. You can reroll hit rolls of 1 for friendly models within 6. Oh, okay. So that is objectively worse than what the Archon gives you, because the Archons activates in the shooting phase, and then will be in play for both the shooting and the fight phase. But then, apart from that, they're the same ability. So she only gives it to you in the fight phase. However, when you think about it a bit more, if you're running her, you're going to have her surrounded only by witches. You don't really care that much about the shooting phase. Whereas with the Archon, well, no, the Archon doesn't have any long-range weapons. He's not going to be hanging back. He's going to be running up as well. With your witches. Not your warriors. Okay, I still prefer her as a model, I think. However, she can only be 3 specialisms, which I think is the least amount I've seen of any commander so far. Interesting. I think she might go quite well with stealth, actually. But we'll come to that in another video. Over to the Homunculus. So, you're armed with a Stinger pistol and Homunculus tools. Stinger pistol, oh sorry, his stat line. 7 inches, so he's slower than the other 2, but it's still 7 inches, who cares? Weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 2. Strength 3, toughness 4. It's the toughest thing Drukhari can take. 5 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 8, save 6 up, max 1. Okay. Really just makes me wonder thematically why the Succubus only has 4 attacks. I realise it's for game balance, but it's weird. Okay, so Stinger Pistol. Better than the Splinter Pistol, as it's always wounding on a 2-up instead of a 4-up. Homunculus Tools, melee. Always wounds on a roll of a 4-up, however it's only strength. Oh, doesn't matter. AP 0, damage 1. So the Homunculus Tool's not really that great. You can, however, give him an Ichor Injector, or an Ichor Injector, however you want to pronounce words. Strength user, so it's only strength 3. AP -1, damage 1. The bearer can only make a single attack with this weapon each time it fights. You can reroll failed wound rolls for this weapon. Each time you roll a wound roll of 6+ for this weapon, the target suffers D3 mortal wounds in addition to any other damage. For 5 points, I think that's actually really good. Purely because chances are good that you're going to not wound, because you're only strength 3, which means you'll probably get to roll your wound twice, which means, yes, you need a 6-up, but statistically you have double the chance of actually getting the 6-up, so it's more like needing to roll a 5-up to do D3 mortal wounds, which isn't terrible, I've got to be honest. And again, 5 points. He has power from pain, insensible to pain, so he's a 5-up invuln save. He could be ferocity, fortitude, logistics, melee, strength. Points wise, level 1 he's 30, so he's by far your cheapest commander. Level 2 35, level 3 50, level 4 70. Master of Pain. It's an aura tactic that begins that you use at the start of the movement phase. Ends in the battle round. 1 command point. As long as you're not shaken, add 1 to the toughness characteristic of friendly models within 6 inches of this model. Now, while the idea of running around with a Drukhari team that are all toughness 4 is cool, you'd have to use this, you'd have to be giving up this. Rerolling of hits. So his tactic is attempting to shore up a weakness that Drukhari have, whereas her tactic is attempting to give you a benefit to your strengths. Obviously, your strengths are hitting hard and fast. Rerolling hit rolls is good for that. However, Drukhari are very weak. They're a glass cannon. Increasing your toughness makes you slightly less of a glass cannon. My current read of this is that Homunculus is obviously your cheap HQ, but otherwise, I probably wouldn't take him. If you're in a situation where you need toughness 4 to survive, you've probably screwed up. She's looking like my go-to character. If you need to kill an enemy commander, she's your assassin. And she's not that expensive, which is good. However, the Archon is the only one that can be a strategist, and on his own, he's not a bad model. But with just a quick glance at this, I'm not exactly sure when I would take the Archon over the Succubus. Again, Homunculus has its own niche, which is cheap commander. You don't really want to take one, but screw it, you've got to. Oh, and that's a valid niche. Sure, no problem with that. These two are competing for the same kind of thing. But again, the fact that strategist exists instantly makes the Archon potentially better. Now, maybe I'm putting far too much weight into the strategist speciality. I probably am. Again, I haven't actually played with a commander yet. I'm just giving you the rules. Usually, correctly. Occasionally, I get one wrong, and then I get people biting my head off, which isn't that a great feeling to have when you're just a guy that wants to spread his love of Kill Team. But let's move on. Okay, I've cut my thought process out. I officially prefer the Succubus to the Archon, purely because she's an assassin character that's going to be able to kill enemy commanders quite successfully. However, if I was just playing a normal non-kill the enemy commander mission, I would go with the Archon. Even though he's more points, I'd run him as a strategist, I'd give him a blast pistol, you kind of have to. And whatever you feel like. A husk blade. Yep, I like the Husk Blade over the Venom Blade. Yes, you're going to get less wounds, but when they do go through, you'll still have that D3 damage backing you up. Also, if you're running him around with a squad of warriors or witches, you're getting that reroll 1 to hit, which is going to be nice. Especially if you're taking maybe a Hecatrix with you that has a blast pistol, and a Cavalite Gunner with a blaster. You're going to be getting a lot of blaster shots off. You will be a bit of a force to be reckoned with. Rerolling 1s is really going to help that. Okay, everybody. I hope you enjoyed my very quick rundown of the Drukhari Kill Team commanders. And let me know the rules I got wrong. Sure, there's some. Let me know the very obvious potential synergies that I missed. Also, if you happen to know what the Succubus's unique character boxed commander does, drop that in the comments. That would be appreciated. I'll pin it so that people can see what's up, because I can't really advise whether or not you should be buying the commander box for the Drukhari yet. But there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this sneak peek. I know after my big Drukhari 5 video series breakdown that I did, hopefully some of you are interested in Drukhari, and this is giving you a little idea of what they might be doing. What's your favourite Drukhari commander? Have I missed something really obvious with the Homunculus? Is he more than just a cheap commander? Let me know in the comments. Always happy to chat to fellow Kill Team enthusiasts, because that's what we are. Alright, I hope you've all had a great day, and I hope you continue to have a great day. Glass Half Dead, logging out.